Word has reached the dwarves that their great city of Moria, which lays in the central parts of the Misty Mountains, is to be besieged by the Easterlings of Run. These Easterlings wish to obtain control over the mountain, seeking its tactical position and its treasures and gold. Dane the Second Ironfoot has sallied outside the mountain with some 2,000 dwarves in order to fight back, but they are few and heavily outnumbered by some 8,000 enemies. As the dawn breaks, the dwarves can feel the excitement and nervousness coursing through their veins. They know that a great battle is upon them, and they are ready to give their all to defend their home and their people. Dane the Second Ironfoot has led them forth from the gates of Moria, and they await the vast host of Easterlings. The Easterlings march towards the dwarves, their feet pounding the ground in unison. They are 8,000 men strong, with around 7,000 spear and swordsmen and some 1,000 archers among their ranks. Their armor glints in the sunlight as they advance, a formidable host led by their chieftain Cadil, a fierce and cunning warrior. As they march, the Easterlings feel a sense of purpose and determination. They have come to conquer this land and its riches, and they will not be deterred. They are confident in their strength and their numbers, and they know that they will be able to overcome whatever obstacles stand in their way. The ground shakes beneath their feet as they advance, their banners fluttering in the breeze. They are a force to be reckoned with, and they know it. And so, as the Easterlings draw near, the dwarves unleash their catapults. The great stones fly through the air, crashing into the ranks of the Easterlings and causing great destruction. Many of the Easterlings are killed, their bodies tossed aside like rag dolls. The Easterlings are taken aback by the ferocity of the dwarves' catapults. They had not expected such resistance, and they pause for a moment, unsure of how to proceed. But as both hosts get close to the dwarven army, then their chieftain, Cadil, rallies them, and they press on, determined to claim victory. The Easterlings are divided into two armies, and they stop around 150 yards away from the dwarves. Both sides stand facing each other, the tension between them palpable as they prepare for battle. And then, with a roar, the archers on both sides begin firing. Arrows fly through the air, raining death upon the opposing side. The dwarves duck behind their shields, trying to protect themselves from the deadly barrage. The Easterlings do the same, seeking shelter behind their own shields. The battle rages on, the two sides locked in a fierce struggle. Arrows fly through the air, and the sound of their impacts ringing out across the battlefield. It is a brutal fight, with both sides taking heavy losses. The evil men have advanced, surrounding the dwarven army. And then, with a roar, the two sides collide. The dwarves lay about them with their axes and hammers, their shields held high to protect themselves from the swords of the men. The men fight back with their swords, their armor clashing against the shields of the dwarves. The battle rages on, the two sides locked in a fierce struggle. The sound of steel ringing out across the battlefield as the dwarves and the men clash with all their might. It is a brutal, hand-to-hand fight, and both sides are taking heavy losses. As the battle rages on, it becomes clear that the dwarves are heavily outnumbered and they are losing ground. The Easterlings are a formidable foe, and it looks like they will win the day and conquer Moria. The dwarves fight with all the ferocity of their kin, laying about them with hammer and axe and striking down their foes with mighty blows. But for every Easterling that falls, 2 more take their place, and it seems that no matter how many of their foes the dwarves slay, they are unable to turn the tide of the battle. Suddenly, dwarven war horns can be heard. The dwarves can see a new army approaching, their banners fluttering in the breeze. It is Dane the Second Ironfoot's brother, Borin, and he has brought with him an army of dwarves from the Blue Mountains. They have come to aid the city of Moria and those who fight to protect it. The Easterlings are taken aback by the sudden arrival of this new army. They gather their army on one side in order to not get surrounded by Borin's host and will regroup their units. Dane the Second Ironfoot and his men rush to unite with Borin's army. The 2 armies have regrouped, and they stand ready to clash once again. The tension is palpable as the 2 sides face each other across the battlefield, both sides determined to emerge victorious. The dwarves unleash their catapults, the great stones flying through the air and crashing into the ranks of the Easterlings. And then, with a great cry, the 2 sides collide. The dwarves and the Easterlings clash in a brutal hand-to-hand fight, their weapons ringing out as they strike one another. It is a fierce and bloody struggle, and both sides are taking heavy losses. The 2 sides fight with all their might, neither side willing to back down. It is a brutal fight, and both sides are taking heavy losses. But still the battle rages on. But with the arrival of Borin and his men, the dwarves' morale is high and they fight with renewed vigor. They lay about them with their axes and hammers, striking down their foes with mighty blows. The Easterlings are taken aback by the ferocity of the dwarves' attack, and they begin to falter. And then, with a roar, the next row of dwarves rush into the front lines. This sudden surge of reinforcements catches the Easterlings off guard, and they are momentarily panicked. They had not expected the dwarves to have such reserves of strength, and they begin to fear that they may have underestimated their foes. Finally, the Easterlings break. They turn and flee the battlefield, their once proud banners fluttering in the breeze as they retreat. The dwarves watch them go, triumphant but exhausted. The battle is won, and Moria is saved. Click here to watch the Battle of Anuland. A huge army sent by Sauron lays siege to the Gondorian city of Anuland. An epic and intense battle follows. Click to watch.